這短片節錄自聖陛下第17世大寶法王，聽列太耶多傑有關禪修的開示，並加以翻譯為中文。第一部分包括了開示的原本錄影和中文翻譯。第二部分是以上翻譯的純中文部分，有粵語及普通話可供選擇。請在下面的資訊欄取得資料。第二節，從苦行到咖啡，一切皆方便。
To get ourselves motivated, yes, we have to think of something that is probably emotional, something that really moves us. It could be individually very, very different from one another. To some, it could be the idea of the everyday world being very confusing, very difficult, and I want to find a way out of it. And to some, it might be a way that I really have no other ambitions other than serving myself, that I really want to find some form of happiness, whatever form of happiness this may be. And those of us who are used to more religious practices, they may think that this form of happiness may come through enlightenment. And some of us feel that this may come through hardship. And so therefore, putting these times, which is difficult to come by, if you do it, it's a form of hardship. It's a form of hardship practice. And so therefore, by doing these hardships on myself, performing these hardships on myself, that I could find happiness.
練習禪修時，為了激勵自己，我們必須去想某些帶有情感的事情，某些真正能打動我們的事情。每個人的情況可能非常不同，某些人可能認為這個日常世界非常混亂，非常艱難，所以他們想找到一條出路。對某些人來說，除了服務自己之外，則沒有其他抱負。他們真的想找到一些快樂，無論那是什麼形式的快樂。而習慣於宗教修辭的人，可能會認為這種快樂來自覺悟。有些人則覺得快樂來自苦行。他們認為運用這些難以獲得的時機去修行，本身就是一種苦行。他們認為透過這些苦行，他們能找到快樂。
Doesn't matter. All in all, whatever forms of emotional motivations that we could use is fine. But the underlying sort of aspiration that the practitioners really have is that somewhere in between something, some form of truly a real natural occurrence will take place. That's the thing. And that is very, very difficult to describe. And the best way to describe is, as I said right now, a sense of awareness that happens when we don't really think, when we don't really sort of verbalize, of course, externally, but particularly innerly, internally.
利用哪種方式都沒關係，無論我們使用哪種情感上的動機都可以。但修行者內心真正的潛在希求，是體會到某種真實而自然的狀態。這種狀態是非常、非常難以描述的。最好的描述方式是，那種覺知只有在我們停止思想時才會生起，即是當我們沒有發出語言時，當然包括了向外的語言，尤其是內在的語言，那種覺知才會生起。
So this is of course very difficult to force on ourselves. This has to happen by itself. And somehow the best possible conditions we can use are these sadhanas. These sadhanas are completely fake. Actually, if there were Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that are present here, if you ask them, they would truly agree that that there is no real, originality in a way. That they were really made up just for the moment, just for that brief moment. If it helps the individual, then so be it. Then they would make up that lie. And that would explain the variety and the variety of practices actually
當然很難強迫自己生起那種覺知，它必須自行發生。而我們能利用的最佳方法，就是使用這些儀軌。這些儀軌完全是虛構的。事實上，如果有任何佛或菩薩在場，你去問他們，他們真的會同意。這些儀軌沒什麼真實的原創性可言，他們是為了當下，為了那個短暫的時刻而編造出來的。如果這些儀軌能幫助人們，那就這樣吧。然後佛菩薩就會編造那些謊言。這實際上說明了為什麼會有各種各樣的修持法門。
Of course, hard-headed practitioners mourn over the types of practices that have already, let's say, that have become extinct. Which is actually, of course, it's a sad fact that over the course of time, many forms of sadhanas or practices were lost due to time, due to conditions, and they will never come back again in our time, or in the future for that matter. But the truth of the variety of practices that exist, let's say we are supposed to have very limited resource or practices actually nowadays.
當然，那些頑固的修行者會哀嘆某些已經失傳的修持法門，這的確是件令人難過的事。隨着時間推移，許多形式的儀軌或修持因為時間、因緣而失傳了。在這個時代或甚至未來，這些修持方法不會再復返。事實上，現存僅存的修持法門和資源是非常有限的。
Still, to newcomers and to intermediate practitioners, it seems that the varieties that, even though they are less, they are supposed to be less, it still seems very daunting to us, yes, that there are too many. How on earth are we able to keep up with so many practices? That we only have 24 hours a day, and there are hundreds of practices. How will we be able to keep up with these? And the best way to describe it is that they're all made up. Just as we all have unbelievable amount of, let's say, palette of, let's say, taste for odor, for taste, for sights, sound, touches or feelings. Accordingly, I mean, just to one individual there is unlimited, let's say, palette. And then if you think in terms of collective, then numbers won't be able to contain actually how many palettes there are there. So therefore, accordingly, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, meaning those who have understood the secret, sort of, so to speak, they have to constantly come up like an artist, actually.
但對新進者和中階修行者來說，即使這些法門已經比較少了，但看起來仍然多得令人卻步。我們會想，我們一天只有24小時，卻有幾百種修持，我們怎麼可能跟得上？最好的解釋方式是，這些修持方法全都是編造出來的，就像我們每個人都擁有難以置信的多種多樣的品味，包括對氣味、對味道、對視覺、聲音、觸覺或感受的品味。單單是一個人就有無限多種品味。如果你再考慮到一群人，品味是多不勝數的。因為佛菩薩了解這個秘密，所以他們像藝術家一樣，不斷地創造來迎合各人的品味。
For example, tea or coffee. I suppose before there was just probably one type of tea or one type of coffee, but now there are also almost unlimited types of coffees and teas, yes? And we are still wondering how to find more varieties. And so therefore, individuals have to come up with more varieties. And it's such a pressure.
舉個例子，茶或咖啡。以前可能只有一種茶或一種咖啡，但現在幾乎有無限多種茶和咖啡，而且我們還想找到更多種類。因此， 人們必須不斷創造更多品種，這真是個壓力。
In the same way, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have to come up with unbelievable types of practices actually to somehow satisfy in a way the type of taste that we have in terms of how we want to be motivated. So therefore, the number of sadhanas or practices that are present today are not in any way better than the other, or more profound than the other, or much more swifter than the other. That the quality is the same, the potency is the same. But if the right method is used individual, then obviously it's the most satisfying one. Satisfying probably is not the right word in this case. Probably it's more like saying the one that motivates us the most. So therefore, the practice of Chenrezig is such that it's very universal, it's very general. It's a common language that everyone understands, that everyone speaks, and therefore why we practice it.
同樣地，佛與菩薩也必須創造出令人難以置信的各種修持法門，以便能迎合我們的品味和激勵我們。所以，現今存在的眾多儀軌或修持，絕不會一個比另一個更好、更深奧或更快速。他們的品質相同，力量相同，但如果修行者用對了方法，那麼那個方法顯然就是最令人滿意的。或許滿意不是最恰當的字眼，更貼切的說法是，那個最能激勵我們的方法。因此，觀音的修持之所以如此普遍、如此通用，是因為它是一種共通語言，每個人都能理解。這就是我們修持它的原因。純中文翻譯。第二節，從苦行到咖啡，一切皆方便。練習禪修時，為了激勵自己，我們必須去想某些帶有情感的事情，某些真正能打動我們的事情。每個人的情況可能非常不同，某些人可能認為這個日常世界非常混亂、非常艱難，所以他們想找到一條出路。對某些人來說，除了服務自己之外，則沒有其他抱負。他們真的想找到一些快樂，無論那是什麼形式的快樂。而習慣於宗教修持的人，可能會認為這種快樂來自覺悟。有些人則覺得快樂來自苦行。他們認為運用這些難以獲得的時機去修行，本身就是一種苦行。他們認為透過這些苦行，他們能找到快樂。利用哪種方式都沒關係。無論我們使用哪種情感上的動機都可以，但修行者內心真正的潛在希求是體會到某種真實而自然的狀態。這種狀態是非常非常難以描述的。最好的描述方式是，那種覺知只有在我們停止思想時才會生起，即是當我們沒有發出語言時，當然包括了向外的語言。尤其是內在的語言，那種覺知才會生起。當然很難強迫自己生起那種覺知，它必須自行發生。而我們能利用的最佳方法，就是使用這些儀軌。這些儀軌完全是虛構的。事實上，如果有任何佛或菩薩在場，你去問他們，他們真的會同意。這些儀軌沒什麼真實的原創性可言，他們是為了當下，為了那個短暫的時刻而編造出來的。如果這些儀軌能幫助人們，那就這樣吧。然後佛菩薩就會編造那些謊言。這實際上說明了為什麼會有各種各樣的修持法門。當然，那些頑固的修行者會哀嘆某些已經失傳的修持法門，這的確是件令人難過的事。隨着時間推移，許多形式的儀軌或修持因為時間因緣而失傳了。在這個時代或甚至未來， 這些修辭方法不會再復返。事實上，現存僅存的修辭法門和資源是非常有限的，但對新進者和中階修行者來說，即使這些法門已經比較少了，但看起來仍然多得令人卻步。我們會想，我們一天只有24小時，卻有幾百種修辭，我們怎麼可能跟得上？最好的解釋方式是，這些修辭方法全都是編造出來的，就像我們每個人都擁有難以置信的多種多樣的品味，包括對氣味、對味道、對視覺、聲音、觸覺或感受的品味。單單是一個人就有無限多種品味。如果你再考慮到一群人，品味是多不勝數的。因為佛菩薩了解這個秘密，所以他們像藝術家一樣，不斷地創造來迎合各人的品味。舉個例子，茶或咖啡，以前可能只有一種茶或一種咖啡，但現在幾乎有無限多種茶和咖啡，而且我們還想找到更多種類，因此人們必須不斷創造更多品種，這真是個壓力。同樣地，佛與菩薩也必須創造出令人難以置信的各種修辭法門，以便能迎合我們的品味和激勵我們。所以，現今存在的眾多儀軌或修辭，絕不會一個比另一個更好、更深奧或更快速。他們的品質相同，力量相同。但如果修行者用對了方法，那麼那個方法顯然就是最令人滿意的。或許滿意不是最恰當的字眼，更貼切的說法是，那個最能激勵我們的方法。因此，觀音的修辭之所以如此普遍、如此通用，是因為它是一種共通語言，每個人都能理解。這就是我們修辭它的原因。